start the show first.
Start the show first.
You listening to RockSlamRadio.com. From our studios to the world, we bring you the finest in quality entertainment. So grab a groupie, throw some horns, and settle in for another fine show from RockSlamRadio.com.
You have boarded Lester's tour bus with your host, Lester Rockwell, live on Rock Slam Radio. So find a seat and settle in, and be prepared for sudden stops. Some settling may occur.
Pardon me. That way is a very nice way. It's pleasant down that way, too. Of course, people do go both ways.
that was Lydia Can't Breathe. Welcome to the 297th edition of Lester's Tour Bus. I'm sure that's not true, but it sometimes seems that way. Lydia Can't Breathe, that's our newest find as far as Florida bands coming to you from the East Coast. And what a pleasant find that has been. Not only are they just an absolutely amazing talent, I mean, you meet these guys and you think it can't get any better, and these bands are just getting stronger and stronger over the time, and they're just great guys. I contacted them and wanted to get a hold of some video and music, and they were very helpful as far as getting things out to me, and that's why we're starting the show off with them today. Of course, on Lester's Tour Bus, we only play Florida music. The entire point of this show is to promote Florida bands, and over time, the show will get longer and longer, and hopefully eventually we have a Florida-only station in which will be a mix of playing Florida music and shows, and then hopefully the entire state will tune into that. The only problem with that is I need to find out by what regulatory authority can make Slayer an honorary Florida band. So if you ever watch South Park every season's winter and July. So every episode it's either the winter or July. I want my show to be every Florida band and Slayer, kind of under the same concept. We want to thank you for listening. I'm going to talk about it a little bit today. The show is getting bigger, and it's happening rather rapidly, which is really good. So if you're listening, I want to say thank you. If you're watching, yes, I am just as big as I look on your computer screen there. So the show is broadcast in a 16:9 aspect ratio. If you were to shrink it to 4:3, that would help make me skinnier. Otherwise, you're stuck with me the way I am. So anyhow, did I see a call up? Did somebody call?
They did, but they hung up while the music was still playing.
Well, then if you want to call into the show, it wasn't really supposed to be a call-in show, but I've started giving out the number and people call in. That's actually ended up being quite a bit of fun. So the number is 813-639-TALK, which is 813-639-8255, 813-639-8255. And if you give us a call, then we'll see what's on your mind, see how you feel about Florida music, how you feel about the show. If you just want to know what the meaning of life is, a recipe for a good lobster Newburg, anything like that, you just give me a call and we'll take care of that. Lester's Tour Bus is proudly brought to you by the Talkwad Network. Please check out the other shows on Talkwad Network at www.talkwad.com. I swear, I think he named it that just to make us all suffer. It's our Talkwad. Okay. And that's TALKWAD. Talkwad Network is it's one of the fastest growing internet radio presences in the country right now, and that's a certified fact. We've actually gone from we have 2 locations now with 4 studios that are running 14, 16 hours a day. So to give you an idea of how much media we're creating, the Talkwad's literally up to thousands, possibly tens of thousands of listeners, and they're coming from all over the world. I know for a fact tonight through Facebook, somebody got a hold of me. Somebody from Australia is listening to my show. Rock Slam Radio is the biggest part of Talkwad. We are, as far as I understand it, the most successful segment of Talkwad Radio. And I listen to a lot of the different Rock Slam radio shows, and I'm trying to get out of this mentality of I want to create this environment where all of the Talkwad radio guys are out there working for, I apologize, all of the Rock Slam radio guys are working for Rock Slam Radio. I truly believe that the different radio personalities we have on Rock Slam Radio are so good that combined they could create a package of shows that could literally go worldwide. It actually is worldwide now, but just creating a much larger presence as far as in the media. And I do know certain things have already happened that Clear Channel's looking at least certain parts of Rock Slam Radio right now. So we're really, really growing, and I don't necessarily understand the dynamic of how that occurs, but it's very exciting. And I think the best thing that's happened for me so far is I started doing this purely just to play Florida music. It didn't seem like there was a lot of places to play Florida music. So, but what's happened is I've started more, what do you want to say, bigger people, more people that have a little more pull in the music industry have started getting a hold of me. And so in the last couple months, I've just started meeting all these interesting people, which is fantastic, because when I was young and they were young, and, a lot of these guys are a little older, not, kind of 40 or something, but they were the guys that were huge back in the 80s, and I bump into them, and these are the same guys, 20 years ago, like, yeah, fuck you, get away from me, kid, whatever. And now, they're coming up and talking to me, and that has nothing to do with me doing anything now that's of interest to them. I just think it's like when I walk around now and all these kids, it just seems like they're nasty and mean, and sometimes, and I go, my generation, that's bullcrap, and we all know it. When we were young, we were all jerks too. So it's true. If you really think about it, just treated everybody like crap, and then everybody gets older and they start being nice to one another. So, most people start being nice to one another. And I think that has more to do with why these people that were completely unapproachable before are completely approachable now. But it's exciting. It's exciting going out and meeting people. Something else that's exciting is next week we'll be having a co-host, which means that you will get to listen to my sweet radio chocolate, but you'll have something better to look at if you're watching the show instead of listening to it. Now, the show has actually changed format, so if you're going to changing the show to doing video music has had a large impact, even though I only started doing it the last couple shows. A couple shows ago, it was only like one video. The last show had a bunch of videos, but that has really sparked interest in the show. So I stand to believe that, if we continue doing this, and to me, it's even more entertaining to me. But we've gotten a good response from the music community. I'm working on the Jacksonville area right now, trying to get some bands up there, because there's just a lot of good bands up in the Northeast, and for some reason, we haven't connected with that market yet. Even though right now we're out of the Tampa area, I'm concerned with any band in Florida that's from Pensacola to Key West. So if you would like to get something on the show, and I'd like to not only have our station broadcasting Florida music, but I'd like to create, where these bands, they tend to stay in a local area in Florida. I want to try to create this music exchange to make it economically feasible for a band from here to go to Jacksonville and a band from Jacksonville to come here, and then I could bring them on the radio show, and we can bring you all sorts of a variety of different music from all over the state. Anyhow, we're going to get to it. I've talked way more than I wanted to talk today. One of the bands, it's a Florida band that I met this week. They are a national touring act. They were on tour with, I believe they said 3 Doors Down. Their managers, the ex-manager for Savatage, this guy is connected in the music business, knows everybody. He's the guy. But this band, they're called a 16-Second Stare. They redid the song the Grinch, and they've made a video for it, and that song has taken off. And when I play you the video, you will see why. And so why don't we just go on ahead and play it, Steve?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Mr. Grinch, you really are. Heel.
Hello.
Hello, this is Lester. Who's this?
This is Big Daddy C.
Oh, no. Jeez, this guy. This is a Jerry. This is I used to play in a band years ago, probably sneaking up on 20 years ago now. And it
Probably
was
close to that, yeah.
Yeah, Majetta, and this fellow here calling me from Missouri now was the vocalist of that band. How you doing, Jerry?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
So far, so good. So you're listening to the show?
Yeah, and I figured I'd call and harass you.
Well, yeah, that's what I would expect from you. Now, did you watch it last week?
No, I found out too late that you changed days on it, and by the time I saw it on Facebook, you know.
Well, now that you know what day it is again, I'm going to have to change days again, damn it.
Well, you know, you do have, like, you know, a way to message me, my email, and all that other good stuff, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, that would be, you know, a way to tell you if I was changing dates. See, I'm trying to hide from you is what I'm doing, so.
Oh, well, isn't that typical?
Yep. So, what do you think of the Florida music scene?
Well, you know, since once upon a time long ago I was a part of it, you know, it's good to see people, you know, from back in the day still kicking it, like, you know, John Stafford with Murderfly and Darren Fox and Who Was I, and seeing other good friends still rocking in the spirit, you know, Flash and all those guys.
You know, I have not heard from Flash in a long time. Now, there was a very good, he was the quintessential 80s guitarist, too.
He's on Facebook. You know, another good friend of mine that I played in a band with, Chris Rivas, he's got the Overload band now.
Yeah, didn't you record a song with him recently?
Yeah, did you ever listen to it?
Oh, of course I did. I listened to everything. Yeah, I thought...
Well, yeah, the mix wasn't exactly great. Basically, he emailed me the guitar parts, said, hey, do your thing, put some words to it. I did. I recorded it using my very rudimentary recording studio on my computer. And I've had a little bit of, I guess, buzz generated around it here locally. And, you know, I have it up on YouTube, Vandalism. It's on my Facebook page. You know, check it out. It's not the greatest, but, I mean, it's a cool song. It's got a dark feel. It's about pain and heartache. You know,
there's no. I haven't really heard any songs about that before. Pain and heartache. No, I haven't.
No, I don't think we ever did anything like that back in the day.
Oh no, we didn't. Certainly not. No, ours was more, you know, quit whining before we punch you in the face kind of thing. So.
Well, you know, except for one song that I recall that you wrote.
No. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that one bad relationship song. One.
Yeah, that
All
bad relationship
This
song.
phone call is over. This conversation is no. Just kidding.
Yeah, well, let's move on to something better.
Well, let me ask you a question. Was the music recorded in Florida for your song?
The music was. The vocals were recorded here in Missouri, so it's kind of like a, I guess what you call like a hybrid mix. I mean,
It is a hybrid
collaborate.
mix. I have to make a decision, an ethical decision, whether I should be able to play that song on this show. I mean, it's got Florida components, but you know, I don't know. It's touchy. What's the and I have a ton of stuff I have to play today, and I'm gonna get to it. So Steve, when we get going, when I get this guy, you know, when we stop this conversation, we've just got to start flying through stuff. So you're gonna get lots and lots of videos and stuff without me talking in between them. So it's like a dream come true today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can sit down and watch too. What's the Missouri music scene like?
Well, there's a bunch of good bands in the Springfield area. Some real good heavy stuff. A band called Fiera. I mean, they rock it hard. Another band, a friend of mine named Jonathan Haldeman, is called From the Ashes. They are straight bludgeoning. He's doing some recording of his own, some solo material right now, and he's actually emailed me some stuff on it. And man, it's hardcore.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Are you still doing the wrestling thing up there too?
Not really.
Weren't you getting connected with like all these professional wrestlers, and that was kind of your gig for a while there?
Yeah, I was friends with some professional wrestlers. I'm on the radio.
You know, it's funny to me. It's like somehow professional wrestling has survived. You know.
Well, you know, everyone likes a good story.
That's what you have to. You know, it's like I think it seems like back in the day they were so terrified that somebody was going to find out that it wasn't real, and then everybody found out it wasn't real. And nobody cared. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody cared because it was still entertainment. Why do you think they went from Wrestling Federation to Wrestling Entertainment? Because that's what it is.
Yep, gotcha. Yep. All right, like I said, Jerry, I got 1,000 things to go through. Are you going to listen?
Yeah, I'll check. I'll be on there.
Well, if I get
you know, like you said, with that ethical decision you have to make.
Sure.
Because you know, music recorded in Florida, vocals recorded here in Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you don't play it on the show, I would understand. But if you do, you know, I'd be honored if you would.
Well, see, that way, if it sucks, you know, get a recording done that you're proud of, and then if it sucks, I can say I just can't play it because I have an ethical dilemma. But if I really like it, then I always have the Florida steps. So you see, you know, I have a way out with this. I like that.
Well, everybody has a way out of anything.
Oh, I
but
guess.
Hey, it's your decision. You know,
unless you have herpes.
I won't press you on it.
Herpes.
You know.
All right. Well, we're gonna carry on. That last band you heard was 16 Second Stare. The January 26th, the Retribution is going to be playing in Hudson. Darn it, I don't remember where the heck where, but you can look it up if you go to Retribution's page. And that's of course headed by Damon Janaya. But they're going to be playing, and I believe the guitarist for 16 Second Stare, he's the one with the evil voice in that song. He's going to be at that show, so you can stop and say hello if you wish. Next band is a band I talk about every week. This is Beautiful Chorus. This is with Mecca from Mechanism, who's a pretty popular rock band coming out of the Orlando area. They're going to be starting off their national tour on May 26th, and it's called the Tour of Abundance. And if you would, I'd like you to look at their website. It's www.beautifulchorus.com, or you could go to their other page, which is www.indiegogo, which is INDIEGOGO.com, and then Resonance Meditation, the word resonance and then meditation. This is the very first song that I heard from Beautiful Chorus. It's still my favorite song to this date. This song is modeled after a quote from Bruce Lee. I was a huge Bruce Lee fan growing up. Naturally it got my interest, but it's got a great message, a great song, and this is Beautiful Chorus, The Ways We Give.
Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Be like water, my friend. You shall find a way around or through it when nothing within us stays rigid. We decide the shape we're in. Empty your mind. Be shapeless, formless, like water. It can flow or it can crack. And we design the ways we give. We decide the shape we're in, the ways we give. We decide the shape we're in, the ways we give. Be like water, my friend. You shall find a way around or through it when nothing within us stays rigid. We decide the shape we're in. Be shapeless, formless, like water. It can flow or it can water, my friend. You shall find a way around or through it when nothing within us stays rigid. We decide the shape we're in, the ways we We can flow or we can grab.
not have it on a regular basis.
Isn't that a wonderful song? I mean, everything about it. It's just, you know, the harmonization. Beautiful Course is 12 women. I think they only show 9 in that video, but I confirmed it actually is 12. And early on, when I started the show, and I first was learning about Beautiful Course, I said it reminded me of the sirens in Odysseus. You know, the attracting the sailors to the shore with a beautiful sound. So I just think it's an interesting concept. The harmonization of 12 female voices, you know, all doing different parts. It's really well done, really professional. I do have to move if I'm going to get everything out today. So the next band is Path to Prevail. I've seen Path to the Prevail live. Now, the problem on this show is every single band I talk about how great they are, and you know, there's it makes me look like you know, I'm indiscriminate as far as how good I think people are, you know, a particular band is. And the truth of the matter is you know, I gush over every band because to be on this show in the first place, you know, I want to have seen them live, and I listen to their music, and they're elevated to that level of a professional band. There are tons and tons of bands, but there are some that stand out. And, you know, some of the younger bands, it reminds me of Lydia Can't Breathe. Lydia Can't Breathe, they're incredible. And they now, and so I'm talking to this guy, and I'm like, yeah, man, I was like, you know, have you heard of this Lydia Can't Breathe band? They're just, you know, I just now learned about them, and they're absolutely amazing. He's like, man, I saw them 3 years ago. They were terrible. I'm like, 3 years ago, they were 16. You know, it's like, come on, you know, be reasonable. So the point of that is that over time, you know, if you're you have a band now and you're playing, you know, you find your sound and you just keep going on and on and on, and then these bands emerge over time, and they're just amazing. And it's really them doing me a favor, allowing me, you know, to when I contact them and they're like, yeah, go ahead and play our music, go ahead and play our videos, you know, to allow me to associate myself with so much talent. It's really an honor. Path to Prevail, they're a great band, so and I've seen them live, a lot of energy. They've been identified twice to me under 2 different circumstances as the hardest working band in Florida. So make of that what you will. But this is Path to Prevail, Dead Geen. And we'll get that right up for you. that was Path to Prevail. We're going to go straight to Razor's Edge. This is Alex Cadabra. He actually sent me a new song this week there in the studio, and he's sending me songs as they come out. Yeah, we debuted a song last week on this show, Maggots and Flies, and he did send me another song this week. I did not bring it, so unfortunately I will play the song that debuted last week. This is Razor's Edge, Maggots and Flies.
The blood's going straight in a twisted maze. For days and days I've been feeling the range. I'm just going through some things, it's hella pain. Am I insane? Cause I want the blood to rain. Me and half dead gon' rock your fucking heads. A couple screws loose, maybe we just need meds. We do this by ourselves, we don't have no real friends. As I spit these sick words, reality bends. Up, down, left and to the right. Everybody's dying in here tonight. Pray to your God and close your eyes.
Yeah, and that last one was Space Brain Blue Ribbon. Let me tell you about Space Brain. They are just they are the funnest guys. They normally play about, I don't know, maybe half the shows that I've seen on Facebook with American Party Machine. And a lot of bands are that way. Like Murderfly plays a lot with Who Was I. Burning Fair Verona plays a lot with Falls Upon Us. But both of these bands are crazy. I mean, they're just, so they're at the bar. They the venue, they take over the whole place between the two of them, between the two bands, and it was just so much fun that night. It was the funnest night I've had out because they're entertaining you not only on the stage but also in the crowd. Space Brain, highly recommend going to a show. Just a complete and total blast. Interestingly, and this was not by design, when I ordered these songs, but when I was at the Space Brain show, Catalyst was there, and that was my first exposure to Catalyst. Now, Catalyst is an interesting band. They are just very smart guys, and they're sort of like, they're contemporary, but they're the feel, the vibe that they're in is they're sort of the SEAL Team 6 of rock music. I don't even want to say that, though. I don't even want to call it rock music. They're very, very unique, and they're sort of themed in that they have an unusual sort of personality, band personality, and so I like that because that gives you a different flavor. And again, all very intelligent people, and that was clear when we hung out with them. It's funny, my wife was with me, and she actually made she doesn't normally go out to these things. She listens to somewhat gentler music than I normally do, but when she goes out, she meets these people and generally gets along with them better than I do. And so she spent that night hanging out with Catalyst, and I got to know them. But I got to know them from that day. I believe they've changed. They told me that night, and I don't remember it exactly, so I apologize, but they had changed a member or two. I think it was just one, but they're having to get that person ramped up, and then they will be back out again in full force. And when that happens, Lester's Tour Bus will certainly let you know. But this is Catalyst, and this is a song they've done called Ghost Unknown.
Footsteps
there you go. And that's Catalyst. You can see they have their own personality, their own sort of culture, and everything's that way. I'm actually really looking forward to, once I get this new member ramped up, to hearing their new CD. It'll be one of the ones I get right away. Anyhow, it's time for Mandatory Murderfly. Every single show, every single Lester's Tour Bus show has a Murderfly song or two. Murderfly's finish up their new album with Sarah Lee Lucas from Marilyn Manson. They've now started releasing samples of the music, but I don't think even a single song's been put out yet. Murderfly will be playing this weekend, the 26th of January, at the Haven in Winter Park. They're going to be playing with Lit Up, Burning for Verona, Another Life Spared, and In the After. If you get a chance, all of these bands are great to see. I'm huge fans of Another Life Spared and Burning for Verona, so if you get a chance, definitely go out there. It will certainly be worth it. So this is Mandatory Murderfly coming to you from Tampa, Florida.
I'm a very emotional person, and I use some of my mental ailments to my advantage to create the music that I do.
I think we all share emotion and pain that makes heavy metal music what it is.
You know, as far as like what I do on stage, it's just like having a nervous breakdown.
Can you
This is Pat McSherry of Catalyst checking in, and you are listening to Lester's Tour Bus.
That was Murderfly, and welcome back to Lester's Tour Bus. I'm so looking forward to their next CD coming out, along with myriads of other people all over the place. Next band's Burning Fair Verona. Now, I spoke to Evan. When you watch the video, Evan's the one that gets stabbed at the end, but he's this big giant. When you look at him in the video, he looks like he's this big, tall, creepy looking bastard. When you meet him in real life, though, that's absolutely a fact. Everything, he just terrifying. And he said he's going to be coming in here. He doesn't, it's not a huge drive to come here. So I literally live with slight anxiety that any moment he could walk through the door. I know that he's planning on making it here. So I don't know when. So when he gets here, you'll get to meet him personally, and you'll see why I'm slightly concerned. Anyways, this is Burning Fair Verona. Rest in pieces. There you go, and that's Burning Fair Verona. That is just an amazing song for so many reasons. And Brooke, who's the Brooks MacGyver, he's the lead singer of the band. And you can listen to this song on YouTube. It'll play every week until they give me another video. I was assured that they have 1 or 2 that'll be coming out for the new CD. But if you listen to him, like he's got the strong, screams down, and he's got the strong sort of the heavy metal gruff down. But if you listen to him on some of the other parts, like when he says, "I am the hunter," he, to me, is truly an amazing vocalist. He is very, very good and very, very strong. And he is a great addition to that band. Everybody in that band is so good. And they're just, every time I hear that song, it gets me going. I don't know, I feel like I need to be doing something. I don't know what it is, but anyhow, this next song that I'm going to play, I don't have a video for them yet, which is interesting because they're one of the largest bands that I have in my collection. They're actually on national tour right now. Last I heard, they were in Austin. I believe they were heading toward Baltimore, but this is a band that gets tons and tons of airplay all around the country, and they're also from East Coast Florida. And this is Breathing Theory Fireflies.
Won't deny
welcome back to Lester's Tour Bus. Our phone number is 813-639-TALK, which is 813-639-8255. If you're listening from outside of the country, which I know a few of you are, how you would call me from there, I have no idea. That was Breathing Theory. Next band we're going to talk about is Foreshadow. Foreshadow is going. I spoke to Aaron. He said that they were going to try to do a couple more shows before they leave for Asia, and they're going to be doing a few countries over there in the Far East. And it looks like they have added a backstage show in Gainesville and one at 321 Local before they leave. So if you get a chance and you want to see them, go to their page, and all the information is there. This is Foreshadow, The Meaning of Life. goodness. Look at all this great music you get to listen to on Lester's Tour Bus show. Now, there's not a reason in the world, if you listen to rock, not to be checking this show out on a Thursday night. You're going to be crap for Friday anyway. Nobody really wants to work on Friday. You're leaving early. Stay up a little bit. Listen to the show. It's a great show. It really is. I mean, you're getting a sort of the Whitman sampler of Florida music, and that collection of music is actually growing every single day. Every day I pick up a new songs, and if they're good, and they're really good, they're going to come on the show. And eventually, from all four corners of Florida, well, we're not really square, but I don't know how many corners you would need. I'm not going to figure it out. But from the multiple corners of Florida, we're going to bring you all of the great Florida music, all in one place. And you can see it's diverse, and it's awesome, and that's all I can say. This next band we're listening to, this is Lydia Can't Breathe. We actually started the show with Why So Serious by Lydia Can't Breathe. I got a hold of them last week after I learned about this band. I don't know how they slipped through the cracks, being as amazing as they are, but they were very receptive to helping me out, so they're really nice guys too. This is Lydia Can't Breathe, Winner.
There's no one here.
Man, this sucks. I was really looking forward to getting some tang. Or at least some head. Yeah, but I hear you can get AIDS from getting hit.
Well, I don't have AIDS. Silly boys, you can't catch AIDS. That's why you drink Tiger Blood.
Nah, man, should we do this?
Goof, dude.
I'm a winner. Yes, I am. And I just stuck my dick in your girlfriend's hands. 'Cause I'm a winner. At least I was. The girls came over. They all got off. 'Cause I'm a champion. It's okay. Go get pussy. Go play I'm a winner. Yes, I win, but if I lose, I swear I'd be goddamn. I'll tell your mother, tell your daughter too. Sons and fathers, this one goes out to you. I said I wake up and I get high each and every day. The whole world around me keeps on changing, but I still stay the same. I'm a winner. You're a winner.
This is John Stafford from Murderfly, and you're listening to Lester's Tour Bus.
Welcome back to Lester's Tour Bus. That was Lydia Can't Breathe winner. Love the song, love the video. Freaking cracks me up at the end every time. Not just because the guy, all the people are sleeping around the pool or the hot tub, whatever, and he decides to do a cannonball and get everybody wet. That was me at 19. I mean, that's a fact. But if you listen, just before he jumps in, he says "F you." So anyway, and in that video, if you notice, there was what appeared to be two girls making out on a couch, and you know what that means. That means that one of those girls, or one of those guys, the guy on the couch looked like a girl. It's the only possible explanation for why there was what appeared to be two girls on the couch making out. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, next band we're playing is Who Was I? This is one of my favorite songs, not only because it's an extremely well done song, but I like the backstory to it. It's basically about bullying, and it's about the singer's experience with one kid who was just bullied to death, and you know, how he had to intervene in that situation. This is when he was young, but it still affects him. It's something that he thinks about to this day. I had a conversation with him about it on the show. Anyhow, Who Was I is actually in California now, and you know, we wish him luck out there doing what it is that they do, and you know, having a safe trip home. Anyways, this is Who Was I? Outsider. Do you understand this next one?
Don't act like you know me.
and that was Steel Gypsy. They're out of Daytona, Florida. We're going to try to get them up here again. That was also a very fun show. If you get a chance, I don't know if they make it up here too often, but when they do, definitely a good show to catch. You can come out there and hang out with Lester. It's like double the fun. Anyway, this week I did get to hang out with a hero, Chuck Linehan. He's in a new band locally called Wish, but he is from the Crumbsuckers. He also played with the Genitorturers. But if you get a chance, go to Wikipedia and read up about the Crumbsuckers. The Crumbsuckers fan base was, James Hetfield and Scotty Ian, and they would go and they would see these guys play, and they were sort of pioneers as far as fusing punk and metal together. Well, their guitarist, who was the biggest factor in that, being able to create that sort of hybrid music, and it's so excellent. If you get a chance to listen to the Crumbsuckers, you can listen to them on YouTube, but you can also, I was looking at their albums on eBay. Now, to find a 30-year-old, 25-year-old Crumbsucker, because that's what it'd be about, 25 years old. They're starting $20, $30. So, but I'm gonna have to break down and get some original stuff so I can get him to sign it before he runs to the hills and won't talk to me anymore. Anyway, but that was a pretty exciting thing. But one thing that he had brought up was when they were up there, knowing in the New York scene and being who they were, there's all the bands like DRI came from there, and SOD and MOD, and he knew Billy Milano, but he also knew Peter Steele. Now, Peter Steele's an interesting cat. God rest his soul. One of the few people, honestly, I was upset when he passed. But that's the ex-singer for Typo Negative. Of course, he used to sing for Carnivore before that, and if you're a really big Typo Negative fan, you might know he sang for Carnivore. Otherwise, Carnivore and Typo Negative are very, very different bands. But Peter Steele, the thing about him is whether you were a man or a woman, and whether you preferred 6'8", 250-pound guys, nothing but muscle, when he said he wanted to have sex with you, you had sex with him. He'd come to you, just the voice, and of course I can't, but he'd come up and be like, I want to have sex with you, I'm Peter Steele, God damn it, and I want to have sex with you, and then you just do it. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You're powerless. The man was legendary. Well, there's a band, Prophecy Z14. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if you like that type of music or not. You're just, because everybody in that band is so excellent. When you listen to them, you're powerless. You have to stop what you're doing, and you have to turn and look, no matter who you are. You have to submit to the power of Z14. The power of Prophecy Z14, I should say. Anyhow, if you have an idea what Z14 means in Prophecy Z14, give me a call, and we'll see if you're correct. I won't verify whether you're correct or not, because I don't know if people are supposed to know that or not, but I know what it means. Anyhow, this is Prophecy Z14, Diplomatic Breakdown.
Money got blood on it, man.
You ever seen any that didn't? Strength of pain, falls into the soul, Lord, through the way.
There you go. That's Prophecy Z14. If that's your first exposure to that band, well, then you've now seen your ear pussy has been popped. You're no longer a virgin. You've listened to Prophecy Z14. It's kind of the way I felt when I first listened to Slayer. I felt like dirty. Something was wrong with me. First album I listened to was Rain and Blood. I thought I was going to hell just for listening to the album. Anyhow, that I guess that means it's a good album. I don't know, but Prophecy Z14. I kind of got over that, and then they came along, and now I sort of feel the same way. Anyhow, we're actually at the end of the show, which is a little bit depressing. There are so many people listening right now. I am absolutely, because we can keep track of what's going on, obviously, and I'm so honored. And I know, it's the bands, it's the music, it's the show, being entertained and everything else. But it's me sitting in the chair, and, I want to put it back out to everybody that I really appreciate it. And I want to say, all the cool graphics and stuff that are for the show and on the Facebook page for the show. My wife does all that stuff, and she's just supportive in everything I do. And, I really am one of the luckiest guys alive. Not a lot of people truly find that person out there that makes them happy, and I did. Now, like most guys, there was one, that you kind of messes you up, and then, and you write a lot of, like Jerry who called earlier, he was talking about one song I wrote. Well, if you play music and you have that one girl that, destroys your life, and then you write a song about her, and you're like, it's really deep and everything else, and then you get it a few years later, and it's just embarrassing as hell. So you'll never find it, you'll never hear it, so don't even try. Anyhow, I'm going to end the show today the way I often end the show, with Psycho Tribe. And I'm going to say the same thing I always say about Psycho Tribe. There's not much to say about Psycho Tribe other than the fact that they are pure unbridled metal. I mean, they are just the quintessential, the very definition of metal. And we're going to play them for you right now, and I will see you next week. I appreciate you listening to Lester's Tour Bus, and stay safe.
I fucking love this band. They are the best band ever, period. Ladies and gentlemen,
With myself, such
What was that? I'll tell you what that was. That was another fine show from RockSlamRadio.com. Yeah.